one of our 67 days towards our own at-home practice, and another really awesome practice, another really awesome week ahead. We're going to be learning how to find our present-mindedness, how to bring ourselves to the right here and right now. And if you haven't figured out just how we're going to do that yet, it's with a really cool variety of poses called balance poses. So this week we are going to learn how to balance on one foot at a time, which is really exciting. So let's just get started. Start sliding the palms into the body, deep breaths in, complete breaths out. As we inhale, taking in everything our body needs. And as we exhale, letting go of everything no longer serving us. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Just two more, really tuning into our yogi mind right off the bat. And bringing our hands to heart center and setting an intention for our practice. For the next 3 days, our intention that I'll offer you is brahmacharya, or sense control. Realizing that we may not have control over many things in our life, but we do have control over ourselves and our senses when we take the time to understand them and harness our control. Much like in a car, the more we learn about what makes the car run, the more we don't get afraid when it breaks down. It's the same thing in our practice. So we're going to take this time to realize our control of our own senses and not blame anything else when our mind or our body doesn't work how we want it to. If that's a nourishing intention. If not, setting any other intention that'll keep our mind on our mat. Returning the palms to the thighs, sliding them into the body, deep breaths in, complete breaths out. Let's harness our mind to the here and now using our ujjayi breaths, inhaling through the nose, constricting the throat on exhale. Deep breaths in, complete breaths out. Just 3 more ujjayi breaths. Sitting up nice and tall. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. One more for good measure. Then beginning our alternate nostril breathing, covering our right nostril with our thumb, inhaling left. Covering our left with our ring finger, exhaling right. Inhaling right. Covering and exhaling left. 2 more rounds on each side. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Equally oxidizing both sides of our brain, both sides of our body, helping us feel cool, calm, and collected in a nice, balanced way. When we're done grounding our palm, sliding our body in, and let's get started in our tabletop. So what's really important about our balancing is that we find our groundedness. It's hard to be balanced when we're not grounded. So we're going to spread our fingers nice and wide like we always do, gently gripping the mat. Hands underneath the shoulder, knees underneath our hips. Inhaling, engaging the shoulders together in the back, eyes up. Then as we exhale, gently pressing through the fingertips, letting our bellies come into our back. 2 more deep breaths just like this into our cat-cows. Really engaging the shoulders on our inhale. And exhaling, bring our belly all the way up into our back. 1 more deep breath. Then coming back to our center. We're going to go into our side planks. Right knee back, left arm up. Gently gripping the mat with our right hand, engaging the shoulders nice and strong in the back. Letting our eyes come up towards the ceiling. Lifting our hips up towards the ceiling, feeling it throughout our entire side body. 2 more deep breaths here. Breathing into any tension we're feeling. Exhaling, letting it all go. Just 1 more. Then gently coming back to center. Left knee back, right arm up. Gently gripping the mat with our left hand, lifting our hips nice and high. Breathing into any tension we're feeling, strong shoulders. 2 more deep breaths. And then gently coming back in. Since our theme is balance, I thought what a better way to learn balance than to use the poses that are already a little bit difficult for us to balance. So before we go into our twists, we are going to go into our full expression of our side plank if we can. Starting off, sliding our right foot to the side, left foot out in front of us, left arm up, strong shoulders, lifting those hips up. We're going to really plant our left foot down, spreading our toes nice and wide, reaching our right foot back behind it. Deep breaths in, complete breaths out. We'll start to inch our right foot forward and see if we can put our left foot on top of it. Testing our balance here, engaging our shoulders together in the back, really gripping through the mat with our right hand. Eyes up, 1 more deep breath. Bringing our hands back down, grounding our knees, coming back into our tabletop. So you may have noticed, as soon as my gaze came up and overhead, I kind of started to lose balance, and that's normal. Slow and steady. If I went a little bit slower, moving my eyes from the ground up, I wouldn't have felt so off balance. So learning this about ourselves and working through it. We're going to bring our left foot to the side. Right foot right out in front of it. Lifting those hips. Bringing our left shoulder right over our wrist. Right arm up. Hips nice and strong, shoulders strong. Bringing our left foot back. Deep breaths here, finding our calm, finding our center, finding our balance. And then gently stacking our right foot over our left if we can. And allowing our gaze to slowly but surely come up towards the ceiling. 1 more deep breath. And then coming back down. Knees down, coming back to our tabletop. We're going to spread our fingers nice and wide, knees underneath the hips, right arm forward, left leg back, finding our calm, finding our center. Now instead of making this a twist, we're going to go into tiger pose, which is what we've been doing without the twist. Bringing our right hand back to our ankle, keeping our eyes gazing forward, finding a point of focus in front of us, breathing into it as we gently lift our foot up nice and high. Hollowing out our back, engaging the shoulders together. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Gently gripping the mat with our left hand, keeping our balance. 1 more deep breath here. And then gently coming back in. So you just learned a new pose and you didn't even know it. Vrksasana, or tiger pose, is what we've been doing, just a slight variation, keeping the eyes forward, allowing the back to hollow out, and just working on your balance through it. Hollowing out that back, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Right leg comes back, left arm comes forward, engaging the shoulders, letting the belly dip now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, our left foot, left hand meets our right foot. Lifting it up as we keep our gaze forward, keeping our balance. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, still filling the belly. Exhale, letting it go. Just 2 more. Gripping the mat with our hand to keep our balance, keep our ground. And then gently coming back into center. Amazing work. Now we're just going to pop those feet up, coming into our downward facing dog, pressing through our fingertips, lifting our hips, and walking our feet in. Spreading our toes nice and wide in our forward fold. Now is going to our time to find that happy spot on the center of our feet where we feel comfortable, we feel grounded. It's going to help us a lot in staying balanced. So coming onto our toes and then our heels. Resting right in the center. Hands to our shins. Sliding up the body, stacking the spine. 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. To help us feel a little bit more grounded before we start our standing balance poses, we are going to do our dancing warrior sequence. It's a really awesome sequence to keep us grounded. Our feet are grounded throughout the entire thing, and when we do the down dog and up dog in between, both of those postures also use all of our limbs, keeping us really close to the ground, which is really awesome and really important for balance. Okay, deep inhale. Lifting the chest, strong, sturdy mountain pose, spreading the toes nice and wide. Exhale and folding forward. Spreading the hands nice and wide. We're going to inhale, hop those feet back. Exhale, gently lower down to our chaturanga. Shoulders in line with the elbows. Inhale, push through the toes, coming into our upward facing dog. Spreading those hands nice and wide, gripping the mat. Elbows gently into the side, eyes up and overhead, shoulders together in the back. 1 more deep breath here. And then rolling over our hips into our downward facing dog. Pressing through our fingers. Gently bending at the knees so that we can allow our top body to sink into the mat. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Then gently lifting that right leg, stacking the right hip over the left, coming up on the left toes, then bringing our knee forward into our high lunge. Hugging the knees, and here's another little balance check we're used to. Inhaling the arms up, back heel stays off the mat, gently hugging the knees towards one another, nice solid foundation, spreading the toes nice and wide. 1 more deep breath here. Opening up into our warrior. Engaging the shoulders together in the back. The left heel drops, spreading the toes wide, hugging the knees, solid foundation. Everything we've been doing, all important for our balance. Letting our hips surrender, feeling it in here. And dropping that back hand. Reaching our right arm up and overhead, coming into our reverse warrior. Really surrendering to our left side. Right arm overhead. Eyes up and overhead. 1 more deep breath. Cartwheeling our arm. Maybe bringing the elbow to the knee. Maybe bringing the hand right down. Adding some more balance here. Left arm comes up. Strong shoulders. 2 more deep breaths. Breathing into any tension we're feeling. Keeping our breath slow and steady, because it makes it easier to balance when life is slow and steady. Back to our warrior, eyes forward, really bending into that front knee. Shoulders in line. 1 more deep breath. Cartwheeling those arms. Right foot meets the left in our plank. Engaging the shoulders together in the back. Bending the elbows, eyes forward, chaturanga. Pressing through the toes to our upward facing dog. Gripping the mat with our hands, taking tension off the wrists. Shoulders together in the back. 2 more deep breaths here. Rolling over the toes, lifting the hips, allowing them to come forward, pressing through the hands into the shoulders. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Just one more. Lifting our left leg up, gently stacking the hips, coming up onto our right toes, and then into our high lunge. Finding our comfort in our high lunge, hugging the knees towards one another. Nice solid foundation. And back to our balance check. Inhaling our arms up and overhead, keeping our heel off the mat. 2 more deep breaths here. Hips centered, shoulders centered, down and into the back. Reaching through the palms, lifting the chest. Then dropping the back heel, dropping that back arm, coming into our warrior 2. Bending a little bit more into our front knee, engaging the shoulders. 2 more deep breaths. Solid foundation, hugging the knees. Gaze forward. Deep inhale, surrendering our back hand into our thigh. Maybe walking it up, elbow in, opening our heart. Left arm up and overhead. 2 more deep breaths here. Maybe bending a little bit more into that front knee for some added strength. Gaze gently at the ceiling. Then bringing our left arm down, coming into our extended side. Right arm up at the ceiling, nice strong chest, not sinking into our left arm. 2 more deep breaths. Solid foundation, hugging our knees. And back to our warrior, engaging the shoulders. 2 more deep breaths here. Cartwheeling our arms. This time our right foot's going to come forward, meeting our left. We're going to surrender our crown here for 5 deep breaths. And we're going to surrender in a foregoing the future pose on purpose. We're going to let go of our worries about balancing. We're going to let go of anything that's on our mind. We're going to find our center and we're going to find our calm. Bringing our attention to our feet, coming onto our toes, then our heels. Resting right in between. Coming onto the outside of our feet. And then the inside. Resting right in between. Spreading our toes nice and wide. And grounding down here. We're not going to move our feet until we need to, okay? We're going to bring attention to our ankles and our knees. Making sure our knees are not overextended. We're nice and gentle. A nice light, gentle bend to our knee. We don't need to have tension here. Bringing attention to our lower back. Maybe bending one knee at a time. Taking tension away from the low back. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. And then when we're ready, gently sliding up the body. Stacking the spine. 1 vertebrae at a time, coming to our standing. So now for our balance, I am going to step back here and be staring right at my tree in front of me. What a better point of focus than a tree when trying to emulate a tree. Now, it doesn't matter whether you have a tree in front of you. It doesn't matter what you have in front of you. Pick a point of focus, anything distinct. For me, I'll be staring at this gentle line in between the leaf. It's easy for me to focus on. It's easy for me to just clear my mind into. Now with my toes spread nice and wide, centered on my feet, knees nice and loose, hips centered, shoulders centered, I am going to breathe into this point of focus for 3 deep Ujjayi breaths, clearing my mind of any thoughts. The only thought on my mind is this leaf and breathing into it. 1 more deep breath. We're going to gently lift our arms out to the side so we allow our left heel to come off the mat. It's going to shift our weight onto our right foot. Stay on your left toes so that you can just feel the weight and we're not worrying about balancing too much yet. So for here, palms facing up towards the ceiling so our chest is strong, confident posture. We're going to bring our attention to our right foot, spreading our toes again nice and wide, making sure we're on the center of our foot, coming up to our knee, making sure it's not overextended and it's also not bent. Just a nice, gentle knee, hips centered. One more deep Ujjayi breath into our point of focus. And on our next inhale, gently lifting up the knee. For some of us, this may be all we go to today, and that's fine. Breathing into here, finding our balance, keeping our eyes centered on our point of focus, deep Ujjayi breaths to clear the mind. For others of us, we may gently begin to bring our left knee out to the left side, grounding the sole of our foot onto our right leg. In the beginning, you may want it nice and close to the floor so your toes are still touching and you can just gently lift them up. Or maybe you feel pretty confident so you come to the to the calf. You feel really confident. You can bring your foot up to the thigh, engaging the toes, engaging the heel, grounding down. And if you want to go a step further, bring your hands together at heart center. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here, keeping our point of focus. Breathing into it, keeping our mind clear, our body free of tension. When we're ready, bring our arms gently back to the side and grounding our foot down. Amazing work. Balancing is not easy. So if this feels difficult at first, that's normal. Working with it, you're going to get it. If you're pro at it already, that's awesome. Keep it up. Start building the strength in your shins and your calves to sustain it. Endurance is also important here. Now, just like everything else, we have to balance on the other side, spreading our toes nice and wide, nice gentle bend in the knees, centered hips, centered shoulders, finding our point of focus, 3 deep Ujjayi breaths into it. Filling up our belly on our inhale, slowly, steadily letting it all out on our exhale. One more. Then gently bring your arms back out to our side as we lift up our right heel. Taking a nice deep Ujjayi breath here, finding the center of our left foot, making sure our knee is not overextended and also not bent. Nice, gentle in between. Hip centered, shoulder centered. One more deep Ujjayi breath. And then gently lifting our right knee up. Finding our calm. Finding our center. And maybe staying here. Maybe bring our right knee slowly, steadily out to the side, grounding our right foot. Again, bringing it close to the floor, maybe even having the toes on the floor to start. And then slowly beginning to reach our foot up a little bit higher. Maybe coming all the way to the thigh. Coming to the thigh can be difficult to find the grip, so playing around with that. And then maybe bring our hands together at heart center for our last 3 breaths. Ujjayi, if any thoughts are on the mind, helping us find calm and center. And bring our arms back out to the side and gently allowing our foot to come back down. Really awesome work. These balance postures are not easy. You did an amazing job. Let's get down onto our mats and tune out. We're just going to take some nice deep breaths in our vrksasana, our bound angle. I learned a new technique for vrksasana today, so I wanted to share it with you. Gently pressing. Let's start off in our staff pose actually. Hands by our hips, pressing through the fingers, lifting the chest. Elbows gently into the side, centering our hips. Pressing through the palms, nice straight spine. Keeping our palms here. Bringing the soles of our feet together. Now letting go of our hands, placing them on our knees. Comforting our knees, letting them go nice and gentle. Bring our hands down to our ankles, sitting up nice and tall. Finding comfort, we're going to ground through our pelvic floor, through our tailbone. Now we're going to grab hold of our big toes, gently opening up as we press through the heels. This is going to help realign our spine, engaging the elbows into one another, shoulders strong. We're going to take 3 deep ujjayi breaths here. Returning to our belly breathing, in and out of our nose, keeping our positioning here. Our vrksasana is an amazing, amazing posture for helping us feel grounded and help heal our root chakra, which our roots provide such a huge, huge, huge foundation to our balancing. So this is an awesome posture we'll end on in our balancing practice. Just one more deep breath here. Letting it go. We're going to come down, hands on our knees, coming onto our back, one vertebrae at a time. Palms to our side, shoulders together in the back. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Coming into our savasana, freeing tension from our body, freeing tension from our mind. Closing our eyes, doing a mental body scan. When we feel tension, just gently adjusting the body, letting it go. In our toes, in the soles of our feet, in our ankles, our shins and our calves, in our knees, in our quads, our thighs, the back of our thighs, our hips and our glutes, our lower back, making sure it's grounded and comfortable. Then bringing attention through our belly, making sure we're not holding any tension in the abdomen. Abdomen. Then bringing our attention through the belly to the chest, to our shoulders, making sure they're grounded down and away from the ears, free of tension. And then bringing our attention down our arms, through our elbows and forearms, to our wrists and our fingers. If any thoughts are on our mind, grounding our palms. And if they're nice and clear, allowing them to be up towards the ceiling. Bringing our attention back to our neck, rocking it back and forth. Breathing into any tension we're feeling. And exhale, letting it go. Finding our center, rocking our head forward and backward. Finding that soft spot on the back of our head where our body, our neck, our head rests without any discomfort or any tension. Then following up the back of our head to that spot right between our eyes where we like to think. Taking one deep ujjayi breath into it. Letting our mind know that for the next 1 minute we have nowhere to go and nowhere to be, but right here and right now. Listening only to the sounds and feeling only the sensations in our immediate present. For the next 45 seconds, our only goal is to be here now. When we're ready, bring our attention back to the body, gently massaging the fingers and the toes amongst one another. Allowing one knee to come into the chest at a time, gently rocking over to our right side, coming into our sleeping baby, preparing our body for motion. Bring our attention back to the breath. Deep breath in. Complete breath out. Then pressing through the ground below us. Coming back to our seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Hands together at heart center, closing our eyes. Reflecting on the intention we set in the beginning of our practice, and only moments in which we met it. Ending our practice, bowing to one another, bowing to our beautiful bodies, and honoring the light within each other, within all of us, which is the same. Namaste. Thank you so much for another amazing practice. I hope you really enjoyed your balancing, and I hope you understand more than anything, if this is a struggle at first, that balance is not easy. It's not something that, even though many yogis show it off like they've been doing it their whole life and it's absolutely natural, it's not. It's hard, and with anything, it takes training and practice. So keep on keeping on. Enjoy this week. Take in what nourishes you, let go of what doesn't, and have a really awesome week exploring our present-mindedness, exploring our balance, but always remembering that it's not easy. So just keep on keeping on. See you tomorrow. Bye.